guys? This is Rise, and welcome to another special video where we, for the first time in a very long time, have hit #1 on the Global Go Battle League leaderboard. We hit it on Sunday when I was in San Antonio, and funny enough, I actually hit this ranking lying in bed in an Airbnb in San Antonio, not being able to sleep before day 2, where if you saw our recap video, I encourage you to watch that. We get all the way to the grand finals before we stumble into a little bit of trouble. But we have some exciting matches here, and a rare sight, right, to see the footage of someone hitting #1 in the Go Battle League, which is a pretty cool achievement in its own. It's difficult to do. The Go Battle League, there's a lot of variance. It can be tough. Sometimes it's tough to get good team compositions in a set, and there might be a bad set or several that are out of your control if you see bad team compositions against you. But also, not only did we hit it on Sunday, today is Wednesday, and we are still #1 at the moment. And when it refreshes today, maybe we will get past. But we were #1 by a considerable margin, as we saw here. So we've actually held the #1 spot for the past few days, and we are going to get into what you guys want to see, and that is the team. And don't just write down the team right away and click off, because there is actually a team change at some point in this run that we are going to do. So the team here that we started with: Shadow Drapion, Azumarill, Galarian, Corsola. Nothing crazy. Nothing super spicy. Rise, anyone could hit rank 1 with this team. I don't know about that, Sebastian, but here we go. We're in a classic matchup here. Drapion into Ariados, where you typically want to Aqua Tail. You're going to get Lunge, then you go for the Crunch. It should barely not knock out most of the time. Sometimes I actually would catch this Lunge on Azumarill, but in this game I apparently decide not to. And I guess I'm just hoping that Ariados is their best Azumarill counter. In comes Feraligatr, kind of makes sense. And now I'm suspecting this could be one line that I used to run a lot: Ariados, Feraligatr, Azumarill. And if that's the case, our Corsola in back might be kind of our key to victory and trying to save our Protect Shields for Corsola. So I'm hoping Azumarill will be able to eat 2 Hydro Cannons here, no problem. And then maybe we try to save our shields for Corsola to sweep. I go for good timing here. You could argue maybe I should have just gone for the Play Rough immediately. And here I am going to go for the Play Rough immediately because I don't want to give Feraligatr an opportunity to get off another Hydro first. So we throw the Play Rough. We get both Protect Shields, and we come in with Corsola. Now, Gator does have quite a bit of energy, so I think it will outpace us to 2 Hydro Cannons here. And it is going to do just that, but now it should be pretty dry. So we are going to put up a Protect Shield. They might try to make a catch, and they do try to make a catch, and it is the Azumarill like we predicted. But we are up a lot of energy in what's already a slightly favorable matchup for Corsola. I guess the Zero Shield technically is more favorable for Azumarill, but we are going to throw a couple of Nightshades here. We want to keep energy if possible, though, for that Feraligatr. So we're going to swap our own Azumarill, forcing their Azumarill to throw energy here. Maybe the opponent could have got away with, like, a really... Oh, they do a big undercharge. I purposely don't throw my Ice Beam because I don't want to delay the switch timer. I want to make sure I have energy here. They're going to throw a Play Rough. We're really low here. Do I get the farm down? No, we're actually going to lose game 1 here in this run as Feraligatr gets to this winning Hydro Cannon. So you see us lose that game. Let's see if we can come back. This is going to be on this is like at least 3 sets, I believe. It might even be closer to 4 sets. So you're going to see like the full run that we have here to hit 34-55. I think right at this moment in these battles at the start, we're at about 33-22. So maybe like top 50 or so at the time. And now we're going for a Crunch here in this Dugong matchup. Dugong like a little bit awkward, right, for Drapion, and we swap and we're met by Wiggles, so this is not looking good at the moment. Corsola does not like this matchup one bit, but we are going to have to stick it out as we are switch locked in here, and at least the Power Gem can hit for some considerable neutral damage, so we're not completely walled. But the Astonishes are not doing very much, being double resisted. Now with the Icy Wind, our Power Gem's going to do even less. Power Gem. Not doing much at all. Trying to pivot out if I can, but can't get out in time. Gonna come in with Azu, because I know I can tank the energy. Excuse me. Tank the energy better from Wiggles than the Drapion can. Swift hits us, but we got a nice little farm at least with the Azumarill. Let's see if this can do some work for us, and it looks like it can, because they have a Drifblim in back, and right now this Drifblim doesn't really have anywhere to go. Drifblim doesn't mind a Azumarill, but up energy like that, very difficult. And expecting the switch in, I just knock out this Dugong to get rid of it, understanding I should be able to get to a Crunch here. Drifblim does have a lot of energy. A Crunch is very threatening, so I am going to Protect Shield here. Get off this Crunch, and I think Drifblim's going to be forced to throw another Icy Wind. I don't think they can even Astonish down before an Aqua Tail. Yeah, so they're forced to expend another Icy Wind, but at this point, they don't have that much energy. And I think Azumarill is going to be able to close the show here. Azumarill coming back in, 3 away from the Ice Beam, giving us the first victory of the video. And there we go. Next battle. Do we switch the team yet? No. Team switch does not come yet. We're seeing a regular shiny Feraligatr. Normally people go for this Shadow, but a regular one here. So I'm actually going to no-shield the Hydro Cannon, since it's not quite as threatening as if it was a Shadow Feraligatr. Crunch coming through. Let's see what the opponent decides to do. They're going to Protect Shield. And knowing that they're going to be inclined to throw on 5 to CMPS, I catch on Azumarill. It's a nice catch, but of course this could give them the opportunity to just bank up some more energy. And that is what they're going to do here. They're going to bank up a lot. Oh, no, they're actually going to expend the energy. That's fine with us. That's fine with us. I think he did 10, so I think he's at double. And I just had to throw my Play Rough instantly, rather than just give him a free opportunity to do 1 and throw. Play Rough barely doesn't knock out, so he actually does bank a Hydro. In comes Claude. I decided to throw on bad timing here just to try and get it off. And now I'm going to pivot. Keep my Azumarill around. This is a better matchup for Corsola than it is Azumarill, in my opinion. Especially if they're running Sludge Bomb. Because they didn't throw Sludge Bomb immediately, I'm thinking maybe they're running Stone Edge here, but not 100% sure. They are going to land this Earthquake, and we are going to overfarm to double Nightshade. Expecting them to probably let this go. We got to remember... Oh, yikes. Okay, but our switch timer is almost up, so we're going to Power Gem immediately to get out of here. We go into Drape, and we combo with the Aqua Tail. I think I should reach another Aqua Tail here before getting farmed down, but do they catch it is the question. They do. Beautiful catch. Because of the one-turn swap-in, if I had predicted the catch, I could have Poison Stung down, landed the Aqua Tail. That would have been massive, but now we're in a bit of a tough spot. Do I actually come in Corsola here to absorb the energy? No, I come in Azumarill, and this is probably just game over at this point. If I come in Corsola, I think our opponent just makes sure that they have 2 Scorching Sands loaded. So I don't know if it would have made much of a difference. And we're going to top left here. And here is the team switch. Here is the team switch. So a few things I had been seeing a decent amount in the back were Diggersby and Drapion. Corsola was really struggling against those. So with the team I was using, I had climbed quite a bit, but I was getting consistent like 3-2s with that team. I was getting consistent 3-2s, and we decided to make the adjustment to Air Slash Mandibuzz. And I believe we should have the team graphic right here. So we make the adjustment to Air Slash Mandibuzz after that set, and this is where things start to really take flight, if you will. Here we go. We're in this very common lead, right? Drapion into Azumarill. I'm sure you guys see this matchup, play this matchup all the time. They swap into Drapion, and, I mean, we've got 2 solid options to come in here with. I decided to come in with Mandibuzz and actually catch an Aqua Tail. The reason I was more inclined to come in Mandibuzz is because it was a non-Shadow Drapion. I thought maybe there was a chance that they were running Sludge Bomb, just because Shadow Drapion is so much more common. If they're willing to run regular Drapion, I thought maybe this could be a Sludge Bomb Drapion. But we're just going to eat several Aqua Tails. Mandibuzz getting very hydrated here. And they go for a catch, and it's a dang Morpeko. We're screwed. Rise, what the heck do you do against the Morpeko? Well, I'm not going to lie to you. Morpeko is very difficult for both these teams that we were running. But we're going to try. What do you do against Morpeko? We're going to try our best to have success. And we CMP here on the Aura Wheel. We're kind of hoping that they let this go. Please? Please let it go. I would really appreciate that if you let this go. But they're not going to let it go. They're going to shield, and they're going to Aura Wheel us likely again, putting themselves back to their electric form. I know I have energy on Mandy, so I'm hoping I can get this off. And then I'm able to bank a foul play. Which could be really huge for us. Unfortunately, this opposing Azumarill is just not quite in play rough range. It's in an awkward health range for us, where like I have to play rough, but it's going to be a tough bubble down after the play rough, and I need energy for the Morpeko. Also, the Drapion is still there. Play rough connects on us, and we are going to keep on bubbling. Eventually, I Ice Beam because I don't want to take another charge attack here. But we're pretty close to our next charge attack. Expecting Morpeko to come in. And I combo, but I actually catch an Aura Wheel in the process. And I'm thinking, okay, my only win condition here, because if I throw energy, right? If I throw energy on this Morpeko, then Drapion just wins. It's healthier than my Azumarill. So my only win condition is to commit to a 3 bubble down. I need the 3 bubble down. 1, 2, 3 bubble down. We have the charge attack. Go for the play rough. It hits harder than the Ice Beam. And this is going to knock out Drapion. So a really crazy win there against a Morpeko in the back, which is always tough for this team that we are running. On to the next. Drapion into Steelix. Thunderfang Steelix. So good that our Mandibuzz is avoiding this. Aqua Tail connects. Does a little bit less than half. This wasn't enough to be like an earthquake or anything super threatening, so just going to take this. And our Drapion, I'm thinking, might actually get to a 3rd Aqua Tail here, which could be pretty nasty for us. We're trying to get there. We get to a 3rd Aqua Tail. This is really good for us. Really good for Drapion. Leaves it low, and they do a Thunderfang, so they actually don't even get off a charge attack there. And this is perfect. Azumarill comes in to greet our Azumarill. That was one thing I noticed in this high elo range. Not a lot of hard answers to Azumarill I was seeing. So Azumarill was quite safe. Play rough will be exchanged back and forth. And at this point, I mean, we're just kind of hoping that Mandibuzz will have a positive matchup in the back. If it was a Steelix lead, I mean, hopefully Mandibuzz would have something good in back, because otherwise they'd be like double weak to, if it's like a steel type, they'd be double weak to ground. But we don't know. I mean, it could be one of those ABA teams like a Bastiodon. That'd be pretty brutal. And look at that. It's a Jumpluff. I go for a catch on the Energy Ball unsuccessfully. And giving Jumpluff all this head start was probably not a smart idea, honestly. I think this was a little bit sloppy by me, and they revealed they're actually running Acrobatics, which now all of a sudden what I thought was a comfortable situation, maybe I misplayed this. I think just going immediately into Mandibuzz to deal more Air Slash damage and not giving them such a head start would have been probably the better play. But we made a bit of a mistake here, and I'm just going to throw this immediately. He catches on a Azumarill. Now, this is not great for us. However, it does eliminate that Ice Beam that the Azumarill had banked. I'm just going to stay in here. I combo, but I did a bubble first. So I'm actually not going to get off the Ice Beam. I'm going to save my shield for Mandibuzz. Energy Ball knocks out. They're running double nuke. I don't think they had revealed that. I wasn't expecting double nuke at the time, actually. I was expecting Aerial Ace or Acrobatics. But because they're running double nuke, we get the farm down. That's the second time I've actually played a double nuke jump bluff in the back that has helped us win the game. And after adjusting to the Mandibuzz, we get a 5-0 set. Teddy Ursa is our little cuddly reward. And let's see what elo this puts us at. 3373 on our way. And I'm like checking what the I was checking what the leaderboard was at. It was at you saw like 30, what was that, 3345. So I was like checking what the number one was at. I'm like, oh dang, I'm currently like sitting at number one if it was to update right now. But here we go. Chestnut here. I think I had previously played this person, so I knew they were running Thunder Punch. And sometimes that happens at these high elo ranges. You play some of the same people over and over again over the course of these days, since there's less people within your elo range. So I did know they were running Thunder Punch. I'm going to chip this Drapion and then come in with Mandibuzz here. And I figure if I come in with an Air Slash Mandibuzz, he has to reveal whatever his third Mon is. And the switch timer is going to be pretty desynced at this point. Comes in with Typhlosion. So we're going to do 3 and throw. Oh, for some reason I don't. That's kind of weird. The only thing I can think of is I thought maybe I was a turn behind. So I thought I would give him potentially a full Incinerate Sneak because I was a turn behind there. But it didn't look like I was a turn behind. I think maybe in the moment I thought I was a turn behind. Going to do 1 in Foul Play here to try and get that final Protect Shield. And maybe I even swap a Zoomerol here. Oh. I don't know about this play, Rise. What are we doing here? I guess I figure with shields down, a Zoomerol maybe can close out and land an attack on the Chestnut. So here we go. Thunder Punch going to connect onto Azu. Man, that does so much. We're going to overfarm here because I wasn't confident enough that a charge attack would KO just yet. I want to do more bubble damage. I think Play Rough definitely would KO. I wasn't convinced Ice Beam would KO. And I go all the way up to 1 away from the next Ice Beam because I know Typhlosion is 1 away from Thunder Punch. Ice Beam knocks out. We're 1 away. Maybe the second bubble would have knocked out anyway. But this Ice Beam is going to connect and is going to knock out Typhlosion. And here we go. On to the next one. Drapion versus Ariados. And here we go, Drapion. We're going to do the classic Aqua Tail first before we get hit by a lunge. Going to go for the crunch before the second lunge, as per usual. Standard way this matchup plays out. And the crunch actually knocks out. So this trainer, I think this is Chemcoop, right? I missed the intro. Chemcoop must be running like a very high attack Ariados, which makes sense to win the Feraligatr CMP. And we are just going to stay in here, chip this Azu as much as we can. Because we got to keep this alignment. We got to keep Azu on Azu, of course. And he is going to throw a charge attack, a Play Rough at our Azumarill here. What's in the back? He's building up energy, building up energy. We're going to build up as well. So maybe we can take some residual energy into the back matchup. We're going for a Play Rough here. Could have done another bubble. I would have liked if I'd done one more bubble there, perhaps, but it's fine. In comes Gator, and I'm going to bait the Ice Beam here. I mean, it's his last, like, healthy Pokemon. He still has both Protect Shields, so I think it's a pretty likely shield to grab. Then we swap in Mandibuzz, and I think oh, no, I don't call. I was going to say maybe I call a Hydro Cannon. It seems like an obvious Hydro Cannon bait situation, but I shield it anyway. We're just trying to keep track of that Gator energy. And we going to go for the Aerial Ace here. Won't be enough to knock out, but it'll put Feraligatr really low. It's kind of tough for him to no-shield at this point. And our Mandy is not quite in range that a Play Rough will threaten. Would a Hydro Cannon knock us out? Maybe. I think Mandibuzz should be able to hang on to a Hydro Cannon. Ice Beam, though, would definitely knock out. And it's a Hydro Cannon, so Mandibuzz barely hangs on. We're going to land the foul play here, putting Feraligatr really low. And Azu going to get the bubble down in 3 bubbles. Very close game there. Mandibuzz able to really close out there in the end. Talonflame. I liked Talonflame leads with this team because I kind of like the Drapion matchup. And sometimes we would get kind of clever and we would like play out the 2s and we would like try and snipe with the Azumarill. Or we would like get a shield first and then like absorb energy on Azu. We're going to protect shield the Fly. They come in with Gator. And they still have both protect shields. This is a tough no shield for Gator because if you take the crunch, you just get farmed down and it's really bad. So I do actually go for the bait. And then I figure I'll just go for the crunch here to guarantee the final shield or some big damage. I shield, so I'm already down, or I've already used both my protect shields. But crunch coming through, going to grab the final protect shield. Gonna build up a little energy, and I go for the attempted catch on Azu. Or maybe I just banked Aquatail. I forget if Gator was there or not. So Azu's going to have to absorb a lot of energy here. In comes Sparse, and I mean, this is not that bad because Azu's going to be able to hang on for a while here, do a lot of damage. And our Mandibuzz is going to avoid this Dunsparce, which it does not want to see. It's not like, I said it in my San Antonio recap, it's not like Dunsparce hard counters Mandibuzz just because Rock Slide is not a very good move. Oh, and you know what? Our switch timer might be up here. We might have an opportunity to combo play with the Aquatail, eliminating that charge attack that Dunsparce had, and keeping a little health on Azumarill is going to be really nice for that Talonflame that's still hanging around. He's forced to expend energy here. So we're going to probably wait out our switch clock and then eventually come in with Mandibuzz. Can't really come in Azumarill here. Mandibuzz still very healthy for us. Air Slash is chunking. And they're going for likely an Ice Beam. Oh no, they go for a Hydro. Maybe trying to keep energy for the Azumarill later, but our switch timer was up, so once that happened, they actually top left. And a good game. Malamar lead. Our whole team is like pretty good against Malamar. Unlosable, right? Let's see. Let's see. Well, Malamar does have play against Drapion because the superpower is pretty threatening. So we're going to respect it. Let's see if we get baited or not. We don't get baited. It's good for us. In comes Sandslash. A little bit awkward for us. I decided to bait the Aquatail, thinking that it still does a decent chunk, and he might protect shield, and we do get the protect shield. And I tried to catch, but our opponent smartly waits a turn here. You could suggest that maybe staying in this long is a bad idea, because I'm creating a big switch clock desync, and I could give him an opportunity now to, like... yeah, I think he waited, but maybe his screen didn't visually update there, so we actually get the catch plus the bubble on Azumarill. So that's pretty good for us. He's just staying in here. And that's really good for us because Mandibuzz is going to avoid this Sandslash temporarily. We do know that Malamar's still around. I thought he was going to make a catch, so I get a little bit too cautious here, and I don't throw the play rough because I thought he was going to make a catch potentially. Then I just throw instantly, so bad timing, but less likely for him to make a catch. And he's going to swap in Malamar. I bank an attack with Azu, thinking maybe it'll be useful for the endgame. And I decide to come in with Mandibuzz. Unfortunately, I think this is going to give Malamar 2 superpowers, which does do a considerable amount of chip damage to our Mandibuzz. And we are going to get the Air Slash down. And it's Diggersby back. So as long as we can land that Ice Beam that we have banked, I feel like we should be in a good spot. We're going to overfarm a ton here. It's going to be tough for Diggersby to get rid of Mandy. Diggersby fire punching away. Going for another foul play here. Mandibuzz flapping away. And I swap, and this way, I figured even if he does make this catch successfully, which he does, it puts me in a good spot because I don't have to worry about the energy banked on the Sandslash. I have an Ice Beam loaded on Azumarill. Oh, I come in Mandy. Maybe I came in right away, like, just to put the pressure on him. And then we have the Ice Beam. I wonder if he got a little bit more. Wow. If he got a little bit more. Oh, 1 HP in a dream. Azumarill gets the win. I think this was one of those plays, guys. If I do a little instant replay here, I decided just to come in instantly to like make him think he had to throw. Like I had a ton of energy. And make him panic a little bit. And then we have the Ice Beam banked. Diggersby actually hung on, but Azu gets the win. Crazy game there. Shadow Annihilate, a little bit scary. Let's see what happens here. We have 2 answers in the back, but the awkward thing with this team, right, is Azu and Mandy, like, are not the safest swaps usually. I mean, they do have a lot of hard punishes, so we could potentially get punished. I think I decide to actually shield here to try and go for shields down. And it's actually an Ice Punch, so this makes me wonder if they're not even running Rage Fist, because I'm pretty sure Rage Fist definitely would have knocked out from there. Maybe it's Ice Punch close combat, in which case I come in Azumarill. And we got a Crunch debuff there as well, right? So these bubbles doing a little bit more helpful for us. But they show that they are running Rage Fist, so perhaps just a bit of a miscalculation by them, thinking that Ice Punch wouldn't have been enough before. They do pivot into their own Azumarill, so this is like good and bad, right? I mean, keeping the Annihilate around could be awkward in the end game, but it allows Mandibuzz to avoid this Azumarill. So that could be very good for us. Also could be like a Drapion maybe in the back. Then Mandibuzz would have a lot of play. I think I decide to shield. No, I don't. I don't shield. And now, oh wow, I actually let it go and keep the shield for Mandibuzz, knowing that Azu will get to an attack here. And it's done, Sparse. Yeah, this is game over. So nothing, I don't think there's a whole lot we could have done this game. Other than maybe like if we had swapped Azu immediately, that's probably the most likely chance we would have had at victory. Because maybe if we swap Azu immediately, he like Rage Fists and then dips. And maybe we can like take back Switch in that scenario. Who knows? Or get some sort of advantage there. But the way we played this, yeah, this wasn't going to happen. I think I'm just playing this out, you know, just in case something crazy happens. But yeah, this looks very over. Probably could have top lefted before this. Since there's still 2 Pokemon, right? There's still the Azu and the Annihilate. If there was just the Annihilate, we might have actually won here. If Azu didn't exist, but that is not reality. And we drop a game there. But that is still a 4-1 set. Imagine, we could have had a 5-0 there if we won that last game. So let's see what happens here. $33.99. Wow, $33.99. Remember, we checked the leaderboard, and it was like $33.45 was number 1. And this was during that Go Battle Day weekend. So, or Go Battle Day week/weekend. So a lot of battles could be played here. And here in this, I believe, final set, we see an Ariados lead. I've seen a few of these. We know how to play this. I think this might be a game where I actually catch on Azumarill at the end to keep Drapion around in case it's useful. So we go for the crunch here. Do we actually swap Azu here? Yeah, we swap. We get the bubble through, which will knock out. And we get a lunge catch. So it creates a little bit of a desync in the switch timer, which could be nice for us. And even though we're debuffed in this Feraligatr matchup, it's not a huge deal per se because he still shields anyway. So it's kind of going like the same it would, except our bubbles are probably doing slightly less damage. Shadow Feraligatr firing off the Hydro. We're still not quite in Hydro range. I'm just going to throw instantly. Oh, and he catches on a Azumarill. But this is good for us in a way. Because now I can pivot Drape. And I still have enough health where maybe I can get off like 2 crunches. And 2 crunches will be enough to make this opposing Azumarill more manageable. And we get the debuff. They throw energy. I'm debating if I want to use a Protect Shield here. Ice Beam. Oh, I actually come in Mandy. Wow. I come in Mandy. Going to put up a Protect Shield to gain energy for the Feraligatr. I like this. Gonna respect a potential Ice Beam here. Hydro Cannon. Nice bait. Going for foul play. This Mandy's still, or this Froggator's still quite healthy, but foul play does a sizable chunk. Where now maybe our fast attacks will start to threaten. They Hydro again? Wonder if they're actually running, we swap Azu? We get the bubble down? Because I think he didn't want to throw energy and then just give us more farm on Mandy, perhaps? I don't know. But we get off an Ice Beam here. And this will be enough to knock out Azumarill. GG. Let's go. 1 win. Right at the moment, we're probably on the cusp of number 1, considering how many battles could be done within the day of climbing Elo during this Go Battle Week. So a 5-0 would be just a massive gain in trying to get that number 1 spot. We CMP tie on the superpower here. I'm expecting maybe a catch, and there is a catch. So we're going to overfarm. Throw a crunch to chip this Azumarill. Maybe I'll do like a sting and swap in case they throw. They don't fall for it. I think they waited a turn. But banking that energy on Drapion is always really nice. Azumarill just going to absorb everything here. And you got to think it's unlikely they come back in with the Malamar, right? So let's see how this plays out. Play Rough's being traded, of course. We're trying to bank that extra energy in case they do swap back in, so we have some energy to threaten something. And I guess I wasn't sure if Ice Beam would knock out here, so I did another bubble. Let's see if Ice Beam is enough. What do you think? Not enough. Oof. So perhaps a bit of a mistake by me. Azumarill hanging on with 1 HP. But we snipe with Drapion. And look at all this energy we have with Drapion. The energy we banked earlier. Going to be super useful here. We already have 2 more Aqua Tails ready to go. Aqua Tail 1. Aqua Tail 2 on a CMP tie. And this is pretty much going to do it. Diggersby going to go down. Malamar, not enough in the tank here. I could have Protect Shielded here, I guess, to get off the crunch, but I figured Mandibuzz with a shield is fine. So we're just going to do that, and once they see the Mandy, they know it's over. Malamar really had nowhere to go. Guzzlord, tough lead. I'm forced to safe swap my Mandibuzz, which is not a safe swap. Mandibuzz is not a safe swap, but in this situation, it's what we had to do. And now I'm thinking, okay, maybe we have some play, because they swapped in Toxapex. So now I'm thinking it's probably like a Drapion. It very well could be a Drapion. I feel like that would make a lot of sense with this alignment, since they need like 2 sort of Azu answers. And this is a good matchup for Toxapex. It just kind of I wouldn't say out bulk since they're both so bulky, but it just has more efficient charge attacks. We talk about this matchup in my San Antonio recap, actually. Going for some foul plays here. Doesn't look like I'm going to reach another one, but I cannot give up Switch here. So we're just going to have to come in with Drapion. And he gives up Switch. He gives up Switch. And now we have Azu on Guzz. And this is not even a Sludge Bomb Guzz. So I am going to try and come out of here with a move if possible. Or at least close to it. So we're going to build up to 100 energy. Go for the Ice Beam. Wasn't 100% sure if Ice Beam would knock out from this range. But that wouldn't matter if I took another attack. Oh no, not the lag. Please don't lag. We want to hit number 1. And it's Drifblim. They don't come in with Toxapex because I guess they thought they would lose CMP. Or maybe because they know it's a Drapion. They feel like they have to come in Drift. We get the shield quick swap into Drapion. And he's going to go for an Icy Wind. I figured this will do more damage than a Brine from Toxapex. So we shield this. He goes for the catch, and we actually are able to get off the Aqua Tail here, eliminating all that energy the Toxapex had loaded. And they're going to play this out. I lose the Chart Attack priority here, but I figure I should live Icy Wind. And I figure Crunch, even though I'm double debuffed right now, should do enough damage where Azu can just bubble down. So, oof. Guz into Drapion. They potentially could have lined up Tox on Azu, but luckily Mandibuzz lured it out, which really set us up that game. And here we go, Talon. We like Talon leads because it doesn't really have any targets on our team. I'd say I got 2 positive matchups and 1 neutral against Talon. And they go for this fly immediately to get a shield before our next Aqua Tail. Oh, they're actually running Flame Charge. And they're going to stay in here, ramping up their attack. I'm going to go for Aqua Tail here. And I should get to the next Aqua Tail before their next attack. I wonder if I snipe here with a Azumarill. Oh, no, they just let it go. Interesting. They let it go, and this is perfect. They reveal the Toxapex. We're going to get some nice chip damage here, which will really set up our Mandibuzz to be able to handle this Toxapex. They're going to have to throw Brine unless they want to take 2 crunches. I guess they want to take 2 crunches. I think they would have been better off throwing the Brine, personally. But they take a second crunch, making this at a really manageable health range for us. We come in Mandibuzz, which can soak this energy. And what's the third going to be? Is it going to be their own Drapion? Getting off another Sludge Wave. Totally fine with that. I am a little bit worried if it's like double hard counters to Azu, which it kind of is. It kind of is. But we still have a nice chunk of health on our Mandibuzz. If I had shielded one of those Sludge Waves, like, this game would just be over. But I was pretty confident I could live even a Frenzy Plant from this range. Please? Let's go, baby. Mandibuzz lives the Frenzy. The awkward thing at this point is 3 charge attacks have been thrown. So, assuming Serp throws another charge attack here, we are at risk of the switch clock coming up for them to catch on their Toxapex. So, I think I stop tapping, and I just wait a turn to see the Vine Whip and throw on alignment. Ice Beam forces them to close their app because they know it's over. They don't want to see Toxapex getting bubbled down by an Azumarill. They have closed the app. And a nice win there, because I guess on paper it could be it could look kind of bad with Azu having nowhere to go theoretically in the back, but it worked out. And this might be the very last battle. And dude, how fitting. The very last battle, we see an amazing lead. Whimsicott, a Pokemon that we've used a lot to climb on the leaderboard in past seasons and such. They swap in Bibs. I go for an attempted catch on Azumarill. I'm unsuccessful. However, we did get the debuff, so a Play Rough should definitely threaten to knock out now. And our opponent actually doesn't throw here. So I think our opponent plays this, maybe you could say, a little bit sloppy. They had a Hyper Fang that they didn't use, keeping our Azumarill quite healthy here. And this is going to allow Azumarill, assuming this is Seed Bomb, to probably hang on and get off an Ice Beam. I do 1 bubble and throw, hoping maybe I could even force him to throw again before the Fairy Wind down. I'm not going to give up Switch because we know what's in back. He does get the full farm down, so not ideal for us. We get a Sting through. I am going to respect a potential Moonblast here. But it's a nice Seed Bomb bait. And it's a Whiscash in the back. Dude, like, very hard counter lead. Pretty hard counter back. We just had to maintain the alignment here. And they are going to start throwing Scalds. We're hoping for no debuffs. Scald debuff chance. Still has a debuff chance, right? It was just reduced. Mandibuzz trying to close out this game for us. And, of course, Mandibuzz has play against the Whims as well. Gonna throw on good timing, get off this foul play. And I figure if I get the final Protect Shield, I could just close with Drapion. And I might even Simul Swap here, anticipating the swap from him. And that's what we do. And I kind of lost count at this point, I'm going to be honest. I was a little bit nervous. So I don't think they even had the Moonblast here, but I shield just in case. And I've got nearly 2 Aqua Tails with Drapion. And this Aqua Tail, in a pretty RPS final game, is going to deliver us a 5-0 set. That put us not only at 34.55, but put us at number 1 on the global leaderboard by a considerable margin. And with that said, I thank you guys so much for watching this video. It was our first time hitting number 1 in like 10 seasons or something crazy. I've hit number 2, number 3. I've been top 10 numerous times, but number 1 is definitely a hard thing to do. And it was unfortunately overshadowed a little bit by San Antonio. Not in a, well, in a good way and a bad way. Like in a good way, that San Antonio like runner-up finish to me is almost a bigger deal in a sense than number 1 in GBL. But also the fact that we did lose in the finals was definitely a bit of a bummer. So yeah, I couldn't really celebrate my number 1 in Go Battle League too much like a normal day if when I was more focused on San Antonio over the weekend anyway, and we ended up losing in the finals. So it would be kind of weird to like be overly excited about number 1 in GBL for me when I know I did want that championship. So bittersweet feelings there. Kind of funny, right? Like as a content creator, a streamer, a battler, a competitor. Also this season I hit Legend off stream, and I was like bummed when I hit Legend because it was off stream. I wanted to do it on stream. So we hit number 1 on the leaderboard, and we're like, yeah, okay, at least it's a consolation prize. And we hit Legend. We're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I hit Legend off stream. Like we're doing cool things that are supposed to be like happy goals in PvP, and they're being like overshadowed by their stuff. But overall, still a very cool thing to do once again. And it's been, like I said, a long time since I had hit number 1 in GBL. And this is the first time I've hit it for at least 3 days. Let me check off screen right now if it updated. It should update around now. Refresh. No, still hasn't updated. So we're still sitting at number 1. And I think that'll do it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And all of that said, thank you again. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.